Hello everyone. So this is just a short video on how I wanted do items. Um, I'm still trying to figure out how I want to go about this. As I talk about it, I'll kind of point out the things that might change. But either way, just for a simple item for today, we have the torch, and then it's a typical flame cannot endure the air of rot. So as people are trekking through the environment, they're going through different environments, and I think it would be interesting and cool if you measured time, not through typical means. Like you're not measuring by the minute or by the hour, by like a unit of time. I think I should still have that, um, but for items like these, I think it makes far more sense because when you're playing the game, since the time isn't one to one, it makes sense that you would kind of lose track of this unit of time over. So instead, for example, imagine a torch that lasts till a man grows hungry. So that would be till someone gets fatigue or something like that. That's how long it would last for. Um, Also, let me know if the music is too loud or whatnot. Materials that the Plessis can use would be tallows, oils, cloths, or some such material to ignite a torch. For example, you can have rotten tallow that can cause the flame to turn black, like a sunflower oil. Sunflowers have the yellow leaves, or yellow petals rather, and they make golden flame. Steel wool can ignite and it could produce silver flame. And then the more complex, useful flames, such as radiant flame, that'd be light or holy fire, requires quote unquote red, green, and blue materia. And then I'll need a page to explain the different types of materia. The player can craft these tallows, oils, and cloths by using a fire starter kit. So they would have you would boil animal soot or animal fat to make a tallow, and you can different types of animals can produce different types of fats. So a rotten monster um, would make rotten tallow versus a fresh pig or something like that, fresh beef. You'd need a distiller to distill an object's essence. That's how you would get oils. For wools, you would need a dry or you need to dry and shave the leather, and that's kind of almost like shavings or whatnot. I have a dry rack for that. I might want to change the tool for that to make it more magical / specialized, but regardless, you can use all these different types of materials to create tallows, oils, and wools. As long as you have, for example, a quote unquote red materia, green materia, blue materia, and then I'll have a different page explaining that kind of thing. And so you can make different types of flames. So I didn't write or conceptualize all of these, but I have a few. So there'd be wrought flame, and you need black materia to do that. Silver flame would require gray materia. So I can imagine maybe something like oil, like steel. Black material would be something again, the rotten monster fat. Red material would be something like ardent flame, and flame is fickle by nature, it burns ever bright. The greater one step, those that yield to mindfulness or cowardice will find their fire flickering before being snuffed out. Keep moving. So this kind of flame is for traveling. It's great for traveling, but if you're for example, doing dungeon crawling, you might be going slow. So if you're going slow, then this wouldn't be the ideal flame to use. And then this kind of like builds into a play style. Like for example, let's say you're traveling and you encounter something. You almost don't want to stop for just about anything, or at least the person holding that ardent flame torch. Golden flame, didn't come up with one yet. Um, green flame, don't have a name for it, but a green flame, for example, it like burns throughout the night. Can dwindle to a smolder mote, never diminishes until the day comes. So that could be like useful for like around a city. For instance, you have the little night torches, night lanterns, or let's say you're dungeon crawling and you are trying to get out, travel only at night, and you don't want to travel during the day, or vice versa. Maybe you would use this to check the time of day if you're like super deep and you have no way to know. This would be like an interesting way to tell time. So it could be useful in multiple ways. Magic flame, I did not come up with anything. Blue, I have like this concept, but it's like the enduring flame, a flame endures that which quelches flame. So it doesn't really get very hot. It's not very bright, so it has limited functionality. It doesn't really burn, leaves things blackened by it, so it doesn't really burn either. But, for example, it can burn in water, so it's useful. Blue flame would be useful if you're trekking underwater. And then you can have like cool environments with these different types of flames too. An alluring flame, a flame that burns as long as there's no weather above. Again, that would be interesting. So weather plays a major part. I don't think I covered too much about weather, but weather makes it so where if you're caught in a storm, you can traverse to other realms. It's not just the typical, oh, it's raining. It's more like, I don't know, for example, like the thunder god's sad. And so there's like, it starts opening up thresholds, and you end up crossing one of these thresholds and you end up in another realm. And it's tied to, which god is currently reigning, R-E-I-G-N, reigning. And then what environment you're in. Is there a threshold around? Do you have a lodestone? Things like that. But regardless, so this will burn as long as there's no weather above. So it will last for quite a long time. This might be too strong, but I might change that. And it uses a scent to attract certain creatures within the area. So you can use this almost to use it as bait. And then I have Radiant Flame. Another term I might change it to is like White Flame or Celestial Fire. And that which brings rot to ruin. So it's very useful for combating creatures that, like monsters, creatures that rot. And it does not burn as it embraces the PC, and it burns rot away. So it can almost like heal diseases and whatnot. But it's hard to get to. It wouldn't be like a typical flame. Like up here I said, Radiant Flame requires quote red, green, and blue materia. And then push it back against rot, burning a relic. Burning a relic would be maybe how you get White Flame. It causes a bright white flash over a large area before dimming to a moderate glow. So you can use it almost like a flashbang, perchance. And it lights up like a whole area. That's kind of... before dimming to a moderate glow versus lighting up a whole area. Yeah, I'd have to figure out which one I want to do. Rainbow Materia, did not come up with the type of flame for that one. And then here's like other examples, like here it's like a typical flame torch that can last till a man grows hungry. That was the previous example. Another example would be absorbs the mania in an area or drains the PC's mania. So I was thinking that might be the magic flame. It slowly drains someone's mana, but maybe it has more practical use um, against creatures or something. And then another like feature could be like dims when enemies are near. I was thinking maybe that's like a yellow flame, golden flame. I think that'd be useful. Like you're trekking in like a dungeon, like I'm thinking a goblin nest or something like that. And typical thing is they can see you because they can see the fire. What happens if you're getting close and then the fire dims naturally? Then you know they're near, and then you remain hidden because you're using a golden flame. But I just wanted to kind of talk about like the format for this. So it's like you have the image, you have like just a typical example, you have like the materials you would use, what it can produce, or what you need, how you can craft the material. This is something you would like do during your rest and respite, and then the types of flames. The thing that's like odd about this page, if I were to like turn this into a page on in the book, is, you know, if I want to know the flames, I have to know to go to the torch. So I feel like the flames should go somewhere else, maybe with like the types of materia. I'm not too sure. Or maybe I should make a page for the fire starter kit. Then you can have the flames. That makes sense, right? And then the torch is just an item somewhere else, like a little section right here, maybe. Because this is only like talks about a tiny section of the torch, versus the making the tallows and stuff. I think would be more important or more pertinent, and then the types of flames would be more pertinent. So I'd have to like rearrange this, but either way, that's it for today. And thank you all for listening, and may the weird and wonders find you well.